Wait, what?
I just go all natural.
You're joking.
My hair. No,
Are you not
I'm
joking?
saying he probably will divorce me.
Do you really know he wouldn't? Gray hair's not a big deal for you, is it? No.
No. I just
That's
like
too many nods to be for real. Like,
nah, I just like the fact. I just like the fact that everyone talks about it, and I'm like the only one that hasn't been able to relate. So
let's look at you.
she caught one gray hair in my beard.
It's right here, right? It'll be popping up right here.
And I told her, leave it alone. You do not pluck it.
Yeah.
I would never, because why would I pluck your one gray?
I know. Parker tries to pluck my one little gray hair popping up. I'm like, no, you better not touch it. I don't know if it's an old wives' tale, but
they say that you pluck one and three come in.
I was like, no.
I plucked a whole bunch out of mine.
Clearly. It's all right. You're wise.
How's my beard looking?
I think it's fine.
Got any food in it?
No, I wouldn't let you do all that.
Okay.
So, yes.
Tea time.
So we're here.
Dinner time.
Another episode, Legacy University. We have a topic, a Mother's Day topic, dedicated to our moms. I would like to call it, Mom, you were right. Kind of like that. So celebrate some funny, times, frustrating times, life-changing advice, anything like that. So I don't know if anybody has any like momisms that like your mom said before that you probably felt like now I'm saying it, or something that your mom did that embarrassed you as a kid, but caught yourself saying or doing or admiring now. And I got one with my mom. Embarrassing moments for me. I probably never told her before, but when I was like in the angel choir at my church as a little kid and watching my mom in the adults choir, she used to like have leads in songs, and she's not like the big blower, big singer, like like a big, like really good, great singer. So I would be embarrassed, like, here's my mom, and she's soprano too. So, and then she has the accent and everything. So,
well, they gave her the lead part. Why
right.
Well, everyone gets a lead part in the church. You know how it goes.
So you were embarrassed because
not our church. They said not all were called for that.
In the black church, you always get some kind of lead.
All are chosen. You might be called to teach. No, I don't know, Mom. I didn't hear your voice. I'm sure it's beautiful.
Even if the lead of the song was to talk, you got something if you wanted it. So I used to always get embarrassed and was like, here's my mom now. She's about to start soprano and screaming at the high note and everything. and now that like I'm older now and like I sing and I kind of understand the worship part of it now.
Yeah.
And everything, it's more than just singing, and like it's a worship. Mm-hmm. So like now, there's times in the past where me and my mom has done like duets at church and stuff, and it's like, for me, it's like it sends chills up my body. Kind of gives me something that I'm gonna have as like a memory with me and my mom. So it was something like back then was very embarrassing, and now is like I look forward to.
That's cool.
Yeah, I look forward to doing it with my mom. So it was a pretty cool experience, and I do it over and over again now. And don't know if you guys have anything that you were embarrassed with your mom. Well, first
I think I'll say like a saying that my mom would say. Mm-hmm. I don't know if my mom or my dad. It's gonna sound like maybe a Jamaican would say it, so I'm gonna say it was my mom. She'd say, never borrow, never lend. You will always have a friend. Mm-hmm. And she also would say, show me your friends, I'll show you who you are. My dad would say that too.
Yeah.
And so the never borrow, never lend thing, I didn't really understand that too much until, like, you will lose some friends over lending them some money. They will straight up try to avoid you, and it's not worth it. Not even for, like, whatever amount, So if we have it to give, we'll give it.
Right.
9 times out of 10, we won't even. Well, first we're praying about it too, right?
Yeah.
But then it's just like we'll give it, and it's one of those things that it's like we won't even tell them really that we're giving it, but we're not telling them that it's a loan either, which is it's
yeah.
But we have no expectations of receiving it. In fact, when we do receive it back, like for the first time ever, I got somebody paid me back. I couldn't believe it. I don't lost myself.
Right.
I didn't know what is going. I said, but wait a minute.
But that helps out a lot too when you are loaning, is to loan with loss almost. It's
exactly.
like, you know what? And when we got it back, we're like, wow, okay, because we had even in the budget, we did not write it back in the budget.
Right.
That we were going to get it back, because they even said, hey, I'll pay you back, like in 3 months, I think, or something like that, or whatever. And it was paid back to us like in 6 weeks or 4
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing.
Or something like that.
Yeah, but most people don't look at their friends that way. And I actually think that, like, when you look at your true friends, that's like kind of actions that you take is when you give something without the intentions of, yeah, you say you'll bring it back, but I'm giving it to you because you are my friend.
Yeah. You're my friend. You're and it's not like they're every 6 weeks they're reaching out.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like you're taking advantage now. Where it's like, well, okay, we're gonna give it to you, and then like 6 weeks later or 6 months later, it's a new, different story, a different situation, and it's
problem.
Like, right? It's another, like you said, it's another. Something going on. Then I want you to come. Let's talk.
Let's
come over. Let me. Maybe there's another need that you don't even realize you need. And the show me your friends. I'll show you who you are. My dad would tell me that. And just that speaks for itself.
Exactly.
Really.
I mean, it really does. Yeah. I mean, I try to act like that doesn't make sense.
I used to try too. Also, I mean, I had friends from all walks of life doing all types of things.
Right.
I mean, my mom had me and my brother switch schools, because of that, basically, and of course, as kids, and I want to switch school. There's nothing wrong with my friends. What are you talking about? We're not doing anything.
I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing anything, and and then switch schools, and you get older and realize, that probably was a pretty good idea to switch schools, and take us out of that. So
I'll tell you, there's something that sits in my mind, and it probably comes to mind even more and more the older I get. Right? Yeah. Is so when I was little, I always felt like my mom was such an old mom. Right? I mean, I looked at like my friends' moms, and they were, and in hindsight, when I do the math and I figure it out, so my mom had me when she was 28, right?
Which
That's
is
not
old,
old at all, right? Right. But when my friends had their kids when they were like 17, 18, 19, and that's a big difference when
that's
my mom, when all of a sudden, you're a 10-year-old and your mom's 38 and your friends' moms are like 28, 29 or whatever, it's a difference. So I'm like, what's going on here? What's happening? And so now the interesting thing is, so I have 5 kids. We have 5 kids. And my oldest, not my youngest, but my oldest was born.
His oldest. Not ours.
Inside joke. Inside.
That's a whole nother show.
Was born when I was 28 and a half years old. So
and this was your
so I was
grandpa.
So I was even older than my mom, and I almost think it was God saying, "Hold on now, teaching me something, right?" But I was actually older than my mom was when she had me. Then obviously 4 more. I have 4
after
more after that. So that makes me even older because I was my mom's youngest, and so my oldest is younger than what. So all that and everything. So I was like,
that reminds me of something.
Like, I wish I could take that back.
Well, it's okay. It's true. You're an old man. It reminds me.
And she was a young girl.
Yeah, she was. It reminds me of when my dad used to say, I was trying to get into this place. I was like, I don't even remember. I was like 13 years old, and the sign said, you have to be 16 years old to get in here. And I remember telling my dad, I'll never be old enough to go into this place, right? And my dad said, Joanna, you're going to blink and be my age. I was 13 years old. I just turned older than 21, and and I cannot believe it because it really does feel like I blinked and now I'm this age.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And I can't, and I try to tell the kids that all the time. Trust me, you're gonna blink and be my age, and they don't see it.
No.
Yeah,
right?
they don't see it.
They don't see it because it's, what is it? Long weeks, short years.
Yeah. So that brings me to the next topic part of it. So it says, what's the most selfless thing your mom ever did for you? So I kind of wanted to piggyback off of what you said about your mom taking you out of school, putting you in a different school. And even though it was my parents that did it together, my mom really did like a selfless act. And she took me out of public school when I was in elementary school. When I went to middle school, she took me out and I went to private school. Mm-hmm. And one of the things reasons why she did was because show me your friends, show me who you are. I hung out with the crazy bad crowd, and those were my friends, and it's crazy too because she actually worked in a public school. Mm-hmm. And she saw what went on in school, and she took me out of those schools because she was like, I don't want you to turn out like this, but I like your friends. It's kind of like it was hard. Yeah. And when I got out of elementary school, a lot of those guys went to her school, her middle school, which was Central Middle School. And there was this one kid, one of my friends, he had like gold fronts. Yeah, but they were permanent. Yeah. Like his teeth were like, how you get like golds on, but it's like it's caps. Like
caps. Little caps. He had gold ones.
Yeah, and she all call him gun pantit. I don't know why she call him. Well. And but he looks like
because it's metal. That's why you said
but he looks like a young thug or whatever. Right. So
that was the thing though in the Midwest back then.
But they love my mom, and they would always tell me they love her cooking and all that. And sure enough, that guy, my friend, he had gotten killed by his cousin over some crazy stuff. And it was just like, eye-opening. And it was like, from that point on, it was like, she worked 2 jobs. She did what she had to do. She
to keep you in a
opened up a restaurant. She made sure she could do everything that she could do to pay my tuition, to make sure that I could have like the best education and the opportunities. And that was one thing that my mom's selfless thing that she did was she really like worked like for family, not for herself. If that makes sense. A lot of the things that she did, just her coming from Jamaica. I was born here. My older brothers were born in Jamaica, and they actually wasn't able to come here until they were like 18. Mm-hmm. So you're talking about a mom that came here for her kids to have a better life, and not actually even being able to get here until they were like 18.
Adults.
Right.
Technically.
So it's like...
Well, actually.
Yeah, she did a lot. So it's like, for me, I feel like fortunate. Like, I could have been down there as well, but I was here and got what I needed. So the stories could go on, and I'm pretty sure all of you guys have stories that could go on and on and on. And it's amazing sometimes, because then you get caught up in doing stuff for yourselves when you're older and not realizing like sacrifice when it comes to moms and stuff is a pretty big thing.
The sacrifice melody started when we got the baby in our bellies.
Yeah, right.
The whole body changes.
Yes, yeah. All right, so
wow.
So in kind of closing some of these, I got a couple questions to close it, but what do you hope like to pass down to your own kids that your mom gave you? And also, you can tie this into it as well. If you could thank her for one thing only, what would it be? And for me, like on that story that I told, I would like to pass down like sacrifice and patience, because I felt like with me and the way I grew up and how crazy I was, like my mom did a lot of sacrificing for me, and she had a lot of patience because she put me in activities that I felt like I was in the Kansas City Boys Choir. I took piano lessons. I was in church like probably 3 times a week, and I felt like she at any moment she could have just said, you know what, just do whatever you want to do. I'm not gonna keep doing this, and she chose not to. And I feel like that's what like I'm trying to instill in myself. And it's very hard. That's why I say I wish I could like really get that instilled in myself, is to know that if it's hard for me to already sacrifice and be patient, I know that it had to have taken her a lot as well to do that as well. And
Yeah, I'll throw something in, Benji. So, I mean, really taking the both of the subjects at the same time of just her hard work. I mean, and really, my mom made our house a home that, you know, as far as her cooking, her cleaning, I mean, there wasn't a day, you know, that I looked into my, you know, dresser drawer or closet or whatever and didn't have clean clothes. You know, right. I mean, it just seemed like those clothes, it was like magic laundry basket, right?
Yeah.
I mean, those clothes were always, and the dishes were always done, and the house was always clean, and the, you know, and the food. I mean, we would have, you know, friends that would love to come over and just hang out, just to eat and just to, you know, just they just enjoyed the atmosphere, you know, and my dad being there too, and he was the, you know, typical Midwestern man, and he would, you know, roughhouse with us and just have fun with my guy friends and everything like that too. But yeah, so wanting to be really, you know, that servant and for my kids also. So, you know, maintaining that balance of teaching them how to serve, but then also doing things for them and for my wife and go on like that. So, you know, it's coming up on Mother's Day. It's kind of a tough holiday. I didn't know that it was for me because my mom's in her later stages of dementia. So sometimes she recognizes us, sometimes, most times she doesn't on that. So it's kind of a tough deal. So, but just hug your moms, you know, and the things that we do talk about, you know, even here on the Legacy University, is just talking about what would you thank your mom, you know, and I would just, you know, tell our viewers, you know, do it, you know, send her that text or call her up on the phone. I'd say call her on the phone, but call her on the phone and tell her, or even write her a note, you know. I mean, they do still sell stamps at the post office, you know. So,
I think I still have some I bought.
So, you know, I mean, you know, send her that letter or whatever that she will cherish, you know. So, it's a tough holiday for some. So I don't want to be remiss on some folks like that too. So.
And in closing with that, just adding to that, which you led me into it, was, like you just said, holding those memories close, because as like we get older, kids don't think about it, and I didn't think about it, but as you get older and you have kids, you look at how fast life moves, and you realize, like, some days you sit and you realize at some point they will be gone, you know, and it So to me, like, so to what you said, trying to close it, but wanting to be like making that point.
Doing the Jamaican goodbye again, isn't he?
Yeah.
In closing.
But
in closing.
Just always, just
say in closing.
They
They mean I got 3 more points.
I got 3 more points.
I mean, you know, grandma is about to be 108.
Yeah.
When you have that type of situation in your family where you have a woman that's 108 and she sets that bar just like way up high, I tell my children
people,
like, honey, that bar is high.
You know, it's, not everyone
sure.
sees that. Not everyone sees that.
We don't. Most people I don't think see 100, 8 years old still bathing herself.
90, 90 is
90,
so.
yes. 80s. My other grandmother lived in her late 80s. That's how old she was. So, I mean, this is not something usual,
right?
You know, so you grow up with that, and it's like, how old is grandma again? Like, when we were born, she was like 80. What?
Yeah. So we could go on and on about the memories, things, and stuff like that. So just something to think about.
Hug your mama.
Yeah, hug your mom.
The contributions of moms.
Yes.
Yes. Hey y'all, thank you for watching. We really hope that you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and make sure you have notifications turned on and you click the bell so that you can be informed of all things Legacy University as soon as they drop. Click the link above if you want to see our next video and comment below so that we can stay connected. Follow us on all social media platforms and we can't wait to see you soon.